Welcome to another opportunity to take part in contemplative prayer as we use art and scripture to inspire us and to help us to deepen our connection with God. I am Pastor Rob McPherson, and today we will be looking at Raphael's painting, The Transfiguration, and using it for our inspiration in our prayer time. The painting references Luke 9:28-43, which is a long section of scripture. And rather than reading it all, let me summarize it for you. Jesus took Peter, John, and James up a mountain to pray. And as he prayed, Jesus' appearance changed and his clothes became dazzling white. Moses and Elijah appeared and spoke with Jesus about his upcoming departure in Jerusalem, his death. Peter, overwhelmed, suggested building shrines for Jesus, Moses, and Elijah. A cloud overshadowed them, and a voice declared Jesus as God's chosen one. The next day, a man begged Jesus to heal his son, possessed by a spirit. He explained that Jesus' disciples had tried to heal the boy, but they had failed. Jesus rebuked the spirit, healed the boy, and everyone was amazed by God's greatness. You will notice that the scripture has two distinct stories: the transformation of Jesus into his risen glory, and the healing of a young boy afterward. Raphael includes both scenes in his painting. In the upper half, he depicts the events on the mountaintop, and in the lower, he depicts the events after they've come back down. And we're going to look carefully at both sections. As I thought about these two stories, I began to think about how hard it can be to bring our spiritual lives and the wonderful mountaintop experiences with God, and bring those moments to bear upon the reality of our world with its suffering. There can be a disconnect between the spiritual and the material, the religious and the normal everyday. I'm taking a deep breath to prepare myself for our time of meditation. We're going to begin by reading Romans 8:18 and 19. Indeed, I consider the sufferings of the present to be nothing compared with the glory that will be revealed in us. All creation eagerly awaits the revelation of the children of God. Another deep breath. As I allow that scripture to sink in. Let us now look at the Transfiguration by Raphael. Take in the whole piece. What do you notice first? Where is your eye drawn? Let us look more closely at the top half of the painting. Christ floats above the ground, almost as though he is ascending to heaven. Alongside him are Moses and Elijah, also floating. Billowing behind them is a cloud that glows from within, and from which the voice of God speaks. Beneath them, Peter, James, and John are lying on the ground, shielding their eyes and their faces from the light. To the left are two other saints, the identity of which is often debated. If you were among the disciples or the saints on the ground, what do you imagine your reaction would be to the Transfiguration of Christ? What might this revelation of Christ with Moses and Elijah mean to you at that moment? After this mountaintop experience, the disciples descended. The lower part of the painting shows two parents presenting their young son for healing. They are visibly distraught. The boy himself is torn between forces. One hand and eye reach for heaven, while the other hand and eye reach down. In the foreground is a woman in pink and blue. Some say that this is the church, clothed in the blue of humanity and the rose of divinity. Others say she's a member of the child's family. Peter is here in this part of the painting, in the gold and blue on the left. His presence reminds us that the top and bottom are two separate scenes that have happened at different times. Jesus is missing here. This is the moment when the disciples are trying to heal the boy without Jesus' help and are failing. Peter consults a Bible for help, but it is not enough. As you look at this portion of the painting, think about the places in your life where your own efforts have not overcome suffering and need. Where does your life feel chaotic or unconnected to Christ? Let us read again from Romans 8:18 and 19. Indeed, I consider the sufferings of the present to be nothing compared with the glory that will be revealed in us. All creation eagerly awaits the revelation of the children of God. What revelations within yourself are you awaiting? What revelations within creation are you awaiting? Begin to consider how these things may be revealed in your life as we look again at the painting. In the lower scene, several people's hands point upward. When put together with the upper scene, they are clearly pointing to Jesus. Goethe says that the two scenes are one: below, suffering and need; above, effective power and rescue. Each scene bears on the other, both interacting with one another. How do the scripture and combined scenes in the painting bring together the spiritual and earthly portions of your life? What message do you hear about the suffering and need you have experienced? What message is stirring in your soul about the potential power and healing you might find? Listen for God's voice as you look at the painting. Is God calling you to do something in response to the messages you have heard? If so, what? How might you find hope amid suffering? How might you be revealed as a child of God in your daily life? Finish up your time of prayer, but don't let go of the messages you've heard. Hang on to them and bring them back with you as you end the prayer. I expect that this time of prayer is not really done. We are always working to bring our whole lives together in God. We are always a work in progress when it comes to applying the faith we have to the daily struggles that we have. I pray that whatever God's message or messages were for you today, that you can carry them throughout the week. May the ever-present Spirit of God and the risen Christ aid you in that task. If you think you know someone else who might benefit from this time of contemplative prayer, please share the video with them. Until next time, be blessed.